Thanks, Kent.
This conference will now be recorded.
Your phone ringing, this will remind me out there to do something.
All right, we'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This bothered me last week and I didn't change it. I just want to fix this a little bit. So it's not like stuck against the wall.
Much better.
There we go. Hopefully it won't fall over. Okay.
All right, we welcome everyone to the March 27th Marion County Commission meeting. This morning, our plan is to review employee evaluations and then come back in regular session at 12:30. So I would move that we recess into executive session in order to review employee evaluations pursuant to KSA 75-4319B. Item 1, personnel matters, non-elected personnel performance with the commission for 1 hour from 10:30 to 11:30.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Gehring. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carried. We'll be back at 11:30 and then probably recess at that point, or if we need more time. Otherwise, our regular session will begin at 12:30.
This conference will now be recorded.
Oops, there's no microphone. There we go.
Okay, we are out of executive session. No action to be taken. I move that we recess an executive session in order to review an application for Department of Aging pursuant to KSA 75-4319B. I believe that would be item 1, personnel matters, non-elected personnel performance with the commission for 10 minutes. Let's make that from 11:35 to 11:45. We have a second from Commissioner Dahlke. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Motion carried 5-0. We will be back at 11:45.
Okay.
Be recorded.
Okay, we're out of executive session. No decisions made. We will recess until 12:30.
Cool, just right.
Barry.
Hey, you're on.
He did that just because he felt sorry for me. It was embarrassing to have to
This
go tell
conference
him.
will now be recorded.
All right, recess is over. So we are ready for our regular meeting, March 27th. Public forum. Any public comments?
There's no one online at this time.
Okay. We'll move into agenda approval. I see road and bridge will not be on the agenda.
Correct.
Okay. I'm going to guess under county councilor, we will probably have some executive sessions. We'll see what the latest updates are at that point. Otherwise, if the agenda, any other additions to the agenda, we'll stand approval.
Just have a little discussion when we get the minutes of last week's meeting.
We'll do that in administrative.
Okay.
All right, we're ready to move into administrative.
Okay, well, I have the minutes of,
There we go.
for 2 sets of minutes for last week's meeting.
2 sets.
Okay.
The special meeting at 10 o'clock or 10:30,
No, the regular meetings.
and then the regular meeting
Regular meeting.
at 12:30.
Okay, Commissioner Dahlke.
Yeah, just on a regular meeting, we had some business on a regular meeting of buying a lawnmower for the park and lake.
That was special.
Oh, that was
Special
the
meeting.
first session.
was-
That was during the Park and Lake session.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Did we
it's
pay-
in the minutes.
I thought we bought it during the meeting.
No.
It was during the first meeting, because that's when Isaac was here. So you did the, you
Right.
decided about the plans for the dam, and then you
Okay.
approved the proposed rates, and
Well, we're
then
on
you
the
did
same
the
subject,
bids.
whichever meeting it was in.
Yeah.
One of my constituents has made a phone call and want to know why the council commission has bought a higher price mower than the lower price mower. So I think the comment was made, I think you heard me make it, that for myself, it was the durability and this you know, what personal experience with mowers. That was my comment, and I'll stand behind that. I run Grasshopper for myself, but I've also run Excel Hustlers, and I find them very hard to beat. Now, there was other mowers that was not, I've never sat on, and I don't have personal experience on, but I think that the general friendship that I have around some other cemeteries and other people running schools, mowers and stuff with Hustlers, and I just valued that information more, and that's why I chose to vote for the higher priced one. So, if anybody.
Plus your warranty.
Plus the warranty
Warranty was
was,
double.
you mentioned that, I was gonna say, Kent mentioned the warranty, that was highest warranty. And so, I guess that's the decision I made. I thought it was the best for the county, and I think it must have been, but we had a 5-0 vote on it. So, thank you, that's my comments for the reason why I voted.
Do you want to amend the minutes? Just to put in a blurb, the commission, because of the.
No, just
No?
a commission
Okay.
comment.
Just a commission comment to put in
Yeah.
this week's minutes?
Yeah.
All right, very good. Any other discussion or changes in the minutes? If not, would there be a motion to approve both meeting minutes of March 20th?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Garing, is there a second?
I'll second that.
Second by Commissioner Crowfoot. All in favor say aye.
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 All opposed nay. Motion carried 5-0. But we will have your comments in this week's minutes.
Okay. They're on both sides here.
Okay. Ran out of ink from on the side, did
Let's spin it some more, it'll pump more in there.
it? It needs a better warranty.
Should ask him for a refund.
Sorry, I just now got it about spitting. I'll do more spitting. Okay, thank you, Tina.
Okay, we do have some change orders. These are not in your packet.
Okay.
Change order lady was not here on Friday, so.
Cover sheet. Yes. So, since this one, we could still sign it.
Mhm.
This
Yeah,
is
I
for
mean,
Barry
it's,
County.
this
So
is
is this
because
one?
the exemption
Right.
on our building was approved by the
Right.
state, and so, yes, you still
We
need to
still
sign it.
Okay. I don't know who else would sign it.
Nobody else could sign it. And it's not benefiting you as an individual.
Ah, okay, here we go.
Okay.
Do you have a question?
Just looking at this. Investments.
Is it just two of them?
We got some more coming.
Well, there's a bunch more coming.
Okay.
That one.
It had a lot of information.
Yes, it did some good
Yep. We thought it'd
kind
be
of comparison.
good reference material.
Yep.
Yeah, you use as much space as I have.
I was using it this morning.
Okay. In your packet, you have the first invoice from Vance Brothers, and that's for the microsurface aggregate that is being stockpiled in the amount of $29,771.37.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Garing, is there a second?
Second.
Is Commissioner Becker seconded? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Motion carried 5-0.
Okay, then we'll get that in for payday.
Good thing they got it this month,
Yeah.
this week.
Right. In your packet, you had the resolution, which is a disaster proclamation resolution for the fires, or for the fire that was, we had a verbal declaration for. And so this would ratify that declaration effective back to that date. And the resolution number will be 2023-8.
Is there a motion to approve?
You'd like to? Oh,
Yeah.
go ahead.
He did.
Commissioner Becker has made the motion to approve disaster proclamation resolution 2023-08. Second by Commissioner Garing. Discussion. Just want to say thanks to all the fire departments who were out there. It was quite a battle for them, but again, once again, they got it under control. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed nay. Motion carried 5-0. I think they said a total of 240 acres burned, no livestock, no buildings lost.
Would you want to take those and pass them around?
Oh, sorry.
We received transport fuel bids from Road Bridge a few minutes ago.
With EPS, is apparent no bid, $23,070.50.
Okay, we have had two bids, one from EPS, one from MFA Oil. Commissioner Garing has made the motion to approve the bid from EPS for $23,070.50, and they are low in all three categories. Is there a second?
No, just discussion.
Oh, once we get a second.
Okay. I'll second it.
Okay, second by Commissioner Dockey. Now we'll
I'll
look
second
for
the discussion. When we're asking for this is number 2 on diesel? Is that, well,
There's some unleaded, there's diesel,
diesel, unleaded. My question then is whether our diesel fuel is comparably to all dealers are comparably with what we should get. Is there?
Number 2 or number 1, you mean? I mean, as far as fuel grade?
No, I'm just talking about number 2. Is there differences between a co-op number 2 and a EPS number 2? Does anybody know that? I don't. I'm not a diesel man.
We don't have an answer next week.
Okay.
It shouldn't be, but
Okay.
Yeah. We'll make a note to the answer next week.
Thank you.
Yeah, good question. Other discussion? If not, all all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carried 5-0.
What I thought, that I was going with.
Different octane or diesel?
That's why I wanna know.
The diesel have octane
I don't
with
know.
this gasoline.
Okay, in your packet, there was a letter for cost share application for your review approval.
The commission has had a chance to review. Any questions?
So that's the letter of support. It's here if you haven't had a chance to read it.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were talking about the actual application.
No, just the letter of support. I
Oh,
don't
letter of
have the
support.
application.
Okay, sorry, that commission has not seen it. Give you a chance to review.
That was, I believe it was in your packet, that letter. It was supposed to be, so if I missed it, I apologize.
Nope.
Okay, it is not in your packet, so you might want to read it.
Yes.
Sorry about that.
Yes, so this is a letter of support from the commission for the project on 290th. The cost share for the 4-mile stretch on 290th between Remington and Nighthawk.
Would you like me to make you all a copy and then you can
That
look
might
at
be
it?
better,
I'm
if
sorry,
you
I
don't
thought I
mind.
had sent that out to all of you.
I didn't think, seen it.
Okay.
We have the actual,
Sure.
Please.
well, yeah, we'll go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, I can print it.
Thank
off the
you.
letterhead.
And sign them on the practice.
Commissioner Becker, I appreciate you getting letters of support from your district.
Of course.
I will tell you, I approached Lincolnville and Durham for letters, but they would like for us to talk to their councils before they sign a letter. So Durham's is Tuesday.
Yeah, it's, see, they've already had, it'll be, what is
They told me Tuesday the 4th.
it, the 4th?
Yes.
Yeah.
At 7 o'clock.
I was going down in there anyway.
Okay. And I'll go to Lincolnville on Monday, the 3rd. So they've already got the letter. But it's always helpful with those applications to have support from the municipalities.
Right.
This is just.
All right.
Did we get approval from the board for the letter?
Do we have a motion to approve the letter of support?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Gary, is there a second? Second by Commissioner Becker. All those in favor say aye.
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 All opposed say nay. Motion carried 5-0. Thank you.
Papers.
In your packet, we do have the agreement, which is the, it's for the Economic Development Grant Award on 290th, and it's basically the standard KDOT agreement, which I have forwarded to Brad for review. So whenever he is ready, then we can have you take action to accept and sign.
Did you find any issues with?
No, the indemnification provisions are fairly standardized in Chapter 75 Tort Claims Act, and then the only thing that I typically point out in those instances is if for some reason we had to delay or stop a project or pause, or we had some scope change, they do potentially require us, we're holding them harmless, to have to refund a lot of money. And I've only had that happen once where it was a problem, because we'd already expended it part of the way, and then suddenly they went, well, whatever you've expended doesn't matter to us, we want it all back. And that did create some issues we had to negotiate our way through. Beyond that, it's the same as always, they haven't changed this one in quite a few years, so.
I would move to accept the Economic Development Program grant from cost share from KDOT for 290th Road reconstruction from Highway 77 to Remington.
Agreement number.
Agreement number 096-23
For project number.
Second.
for project number KA-6899-01. Second from Commissioner Becker. Thank you, Commissioner Gehring, for keeping this, all the details in the motion. Other discussion?
Only other comment I would make, under number 25 on traffic control, I haven't checked with anyone in terms of the sheriff's department or whom is going to be responsible for that, or whether our county engineer will take care of a temporary plan for traffic control during the project. Somebody does have to do that. They're serious about getting that submitted to them, along with the design plans, which I didn't concern myself with, since that's something I know Bryce will take care of. Utility relocation, I knew he would handle. That was the only one that might involve another department or another agency for the county.
Okay.
And that is all.
All right, all right. Other discussion? Not all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carried 5-0.
So they have only 3 signature lines on here, so if the chair can sign the top, and then everybody just, if you don't have a line, squeeze in to get a space, please. Because I didn't take time to amend that, to add the extra lines.
With the agreement signed, I think Bryce is in ready to go.
They have to fill in between somewhere there.
Left room behind.
Already got room.
I kept it short.
I see 3.
Right, there aren't lines, so just,
Okay, there's 4.
2, 3, 4.
4. Oh, I'll squeeze in the other one.
Just cross out.
This side is.
This side, be quiet.
okay. I believe that's all I have for administrative.
All right. Kurt, we're ready to move into EMS business?
Pass it around. Quarterly. Alright, since our last meeting, billed out $143,000, just shy of $144,000. Received $126,000 back. Looking at the big scheme of things, we still have about $201,000 still sitting in accounts receivable. Some of that's just insurance companies are making it a little difficult to pay, or Medicaid and Medicare is just not paying as much as they used to, or people just don't want to pay their bills. We do show about $53,000 in write-offs, and I did submit for your approval just over $8,000 in write-offs on that first page.
I'd make a motion to write off $8,069.40.
Okay, we have a motion from Commissioner Dalkey to approve write-offs in the amount of $8,069.40. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Second by Commissioner Crowfoot. Any questions?
Still the same amount of, be checking everything through set-offs and all of that?
Yep.
Okay.
Forum or hospital to hospital. Hospital to hospital, meaning a hospital in the county to a hospital outside the county, or hospital from one hospital to other?
I believe it's outside the county, as far as I know.
Any other questions? Not all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried 5-0.
And I'm just passing around our run data for this year through February. Through the end of February, we've had 198 calls. Out of those 198 calls, we've had 147 transports. Of those, 31 were transfers outside the county. We've got 36 that have either been refused, treat and released, or canceled. Before we got there, we've got a total of 4 standbys. And on the very bottom, you see a breakdown between the different ambulances in the county of where we're at for the first 2 months.
I like your format. I don't know if it seems like it's a different format.
It is a different format. We went to a new reporting
Yes.
software, and I'm trying to get everything pulled over, and it's a little bit different.
Right.
So it'll be different than what you've seen in the past.
Easier to read. I think it's easier to read. At least you can look at total calls each month, break things down between departments or locations. Very helpful, I think.
And just kind of bring you up to date on some stuff going on within the office. We were selected by Medicare to do a Medicare ground ambulance data collection system survey, essentially. Basically, this is Medicare just analyzing everything that comes through Medicare. They want data on calls, mileages, time it took per call, et cetera, et cetera. It is a very complex, time-consuming deal, but if we do not do it, or decide not to do it, we would be fined basically 10% of our Medicare payments, which last year would be $21,000 and change. We are moving forward with it.
So Jamie has job security.
Yes, she does. I'll be meeting, Heston was chosen last year and has given us some information, so I'm planning to go meet with them to make it a little easier for us, because they learned quite a bit.
So they just pick one location a year?
I'm not 100% sure, but they do random selections, and we're one of the
You're lucky,
random selections, correct?
Maybe it's
so.
just first-year directors.
Yeah, exactly what it is.
As they go on the previous year.
Yes. So, also ongoing, just for your information, like I said, we just started a new reporting system, the first of the year for patient reports. Going to that new system saved us about $3,000 a year. We also did an audit of our oxygen bottles and found out that we had less than we actually were showing, which saved us another $1,100 to start the year off. So significant for everything, especially the budget wise. We do have a new full-time paramedic that we put on last week after we lost one. Some ongoing events. Back in February, we did training with Gospel Fire. We did a presentation with Kiwanis also in February. Also in February was a busy month apparently. We did a first responder presentation and training with the new reporting system. And then this last week, we did a open house at the school in Gospel where we had a truck and people there showing ourselves off.
Good.
Sounds like that went well. The A3 truck, the 2008 ambulance that we blew the motor on, did sell on Purple Wave, and it went for $13,000. And it was picked up on the 20th, and it has gone to Arkansas. I do not know if that payment has been received yet. I believe it has, but. And then the last time we met, Joe House is here. Just wanted to pass on to you guys that he had high praise for you, because the backing that you had for EMS is something he does not normally see, and he had very high praises from you guys.
Well, mutual, we were very impressed with the information he brought.
Yeah.
I believe that is all I have at this point for you. If we have time, I'd like 5 minutes executive to do pending litigation.
Okay, and just real quick follow-up, I appreciate in your reports doing your outreaches and trainings. If you could keep doing that for us, I
Absolutely.
think that's helpful, because one of our big priorities is to keep out there with first responders, public, those type of things. So if you'd keep putting those in the report.
And we do have EMS week coming up in May, so we plan to do a lot of public stuff
Good.
and work with the media and getting some
Excellent.
articles out and such.
Excellent, because that's important to get that story out there. All right, I move that we recess the executive session in order to discuss pending litigation pursuant to KSA 75-4319B. Right there, number 2, consultation with our attorney, attorney-client privilege with the commission. Brad, Kurt, does Tina need to be? It's okay, I'm going to include
I was
Tina.
gonna say either way.
I'll do that for 5 minutes?
Yeah, 5 minutes tops.
Okay, from 1 o'clock to 1:05.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Gary. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carried 5-0. We'll be back at 1:05.
Green stuff? Oh, that's all that green stuff, yeah.
This conference will
No.
now be recorded.
I thought he was talking about money.
I know how people operate with that stuff, because I used to live on it.
Thank you, Kurt.
Thanks.
I haven't had one for quite a while now.
Did you lose your John Deere car?
No?
We are out of executive session, no decisions made. Hi, Nikki.
You might buy green someday.
Hope not.
Maybe get a good price for yours.
Yeah, it might.
See if you can make money.
Hi.
Hi. So I have scheduled Nikki on the agenda for a personnel discussion
Okay.
and contract negotiation.
15 minutes? 10?
15.
Okay. I move we recess an executive session in order to discuss contract negotiations pursuant to KSA 75-4319B. Would that be number 2? Number 2, consultation with our attorney, attorney-client privilege with the commission, Brad, Tina, and Nikki, for 15 minutes from 1:10 to 1:25.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Gary. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. We will be back in 15 minutes.
We're doing executive.
15 minutes?
Yes.
Sorry, who did the second?
Commissioner Gary.
Thank you.
Took too long in the hallway.
Contract negotiations.
Okay. Hey, guys. I didn't come over here just to be.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, we are out of executive session, no decisions made. I do have a motion though. I would move to increase the appraiser staff, the appraiser's salary from its current wage to step 1 on the pay plan. And as a note, this was in the agreement which would take place July. We are simply accelerating.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Dalkey. Discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried 5-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
I guess I should tell you guys, we talked to Hunter last week about training on pictometry, and they will come down and do like a lunch and learn. They haven't set a date yet, so I don't know when it will be, but that would be like a training session for, I mean, it could be for cities, fire departments, police, whoever needs a login. And I went through this morning and we have, I think we get 150 logins. Of course, they have to be government used. We have 92 open, and I assume that I went through and deleted a bunch of people who no longer work. So we have several logins where people could be maybe utilizing it a little bit more than, and turnover, I'm sure, has a lot to do with how much it's being used and maybe people not knowing that they can have access to it. So we are kind of getting that in work, so.
Good.
So you need to let the different departments know that it's available if
Mhm.
they need it. I mean,
Yeah,
they might have forgotten.
yeah, so we'll do that.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Excellent tool. Thank you, Nikki.
Yep, thank you.
All right, the eagerly awaited agenda item for the day.
What's that?
Where would you like to start?
Let's see.
1, 2, 3.
Phyllis has been able to sit down for a bit.
But road bridge isn't coming today, so.
Yeah, that actually impacts us a little bit. Yeah, executive session, property acquisition, 10 minutes at most. Maybe we'll do it in 5.
Do you have anything in open session we could tackle? The bridge, is that open?
Litigation. Yes, we can tackle the bridge.
Let's talk about the bridge first.
I'm sure everyone's aware, at least I assume so, that we had an issue with someone clearing a pasture and a fire that got out of hand. Bryce, I think, sent an email for everyone to see. It pretty much compromised that bridge. It's still standing, but he said we're really down to just one basic member on that thing that's viable at all. Contacted KDHE and he'll probably need to give the rendition of all that discussion because I wasn't privy to all of that. They will be involved, I think, in terms of inspection and making sure that we reproduce a viable structure.
Do you mean KDOT?
KDOT, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I was thinking DHE. So that part of it is fairly predictable. But I asked Tina to go ahead and send off to our insurer immediately, just so that one be aware of it, in case there was anything that we had linebacker coverage for or whatever. And I believe they immediately responded with no and heck no.
Yeah, they won't cover that.
So it will fall to the county, which would generally, I think, fall in my job description, to make contact with his insurance carrier and follow through with that, which I will do this week. Probably make an initial claim, but obviously I have no idea on value or scope of project yet, so this is going to take a little bit. In the interim, I had advised Bryce, and he had already done that professionally anyway, to close that off and make sure it just stays permanently closed. Too much liability for us to take any risk with that, given the circumstances. So
I would approach K-Camp and have them sort it out. Or I guess the K-Camp is different insurance.
No, that's the insurer you were talking about.
Yes.
And they
So
said
we
no.
submitted, because oftentimes there's several different alternatives for what our carrier will do. One is they actually provide some coverage for the damage and then seek subrogation or reimbursement.
Oh.
The other is that they will, even if it's a situation where we are the harmed party, provide some types of litigation coverage. I don't anticipate them doing either of those in this particular instance, although the second one I always reserve the right to go back to them about. If the other carrier said we don't have liability, I would find that more than mildly surprising given how it transpired and the owner's acknowledgement that got away from me and happened. So I would expect that they're going to go ahead and find coverage on it, but we don't have that yet. And so I will make that initial contact with them. They'll probably tell us, well, we'll need the fact pattern behind all of this, take a statement from our insured, take a statement from the county, get some sense of what you're thinking your exposure is on this, which we will dance around initially. I'll be candid because I just don't know what that figure is going to be. And that's going to take a little bit of engineering and time to put that together. And the state will be involved in that as well, so that may slow us down a little bit more to get it done. But I would anticipate that bridge is going to be closed for a while. Bryce can speak to that more than I can, but.
Do we need to go ahead and get a written agreement from the landowner that he is really the responsible party?
Yeah. I think what will happen is his committee is gonna say, communicate through us, because they're gonna be the ones who cover it, so. But I will, because he does it, as far as I know, once he has legal representation, if he did, or if they provided it for him, then I'll do it all through their attorney. But initially, the initial contact will be made with him.
With the bridge and the condition that it's in, is it sufficient for our engineer to get immediate support underneath of there and support it? Get that done, no
Get some
matter
sort of
what, whether it's agreed upon or not agreed upon with
That's-
another person?
That's outside my wheelhouse, but that would be my thought.
I'll speak to that one. The consulting engineer met with Bryce, and I just live a mile away, so he invited me to go down last Friday at 11 o'clock. And the consultant engineer looked at it, discussed different options with Bryce. In the short term, the recommendation is to put some type of cribbing or support under there just immediately to support it in case we get a flood. Something happens,
Yeah.
things happen. At this point, there's a partial member still holding it in place. So if we can maintain that, the repairs will
The
be
integrity of that, yeah.
will be much easier than if we lose that last timber. So that can be done, and it is going to be done.
I just want to make sure that our engineer
Yes.
understood to get it done immediately
Yes.
before we have a downpour
Yes. Yes.
and we lose it that way.
Yes,
As we approach
yes,
spring.
so the first step is immediately take action to get that braced up.
Okay.
So if we do have some type of issue, we're not gonna lose the structure.
Right.
Then the next step is how to fix the structure.
Yeah, yeah.
And as
And
long
they
as-
had several options.
Yeah, as long as we memorialize all of that photographically, with video, then that's fine, and nothing precludes us from exercising self-help. As a matter of fact, we have to. Because someone can always come back and argue later, you should have done this, this, and this, you created greater damage by your failure to mitigate. So we do have to do
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Fortunately, it's a dirt road, it's not highly traveled, but it is important to some of the landowners here. But it's not a bus route, it's not a mail route, it's not a high traffic route.
And the ultimate question is, you know, I know that bridge is sitting there when none of us know when it could possibly collapse. So what is the safety steps we need to take with our engineer to accomplish that without losing some piece of equipment or person?
Right, they have the signs at each end of the mile line, and then the bridge itself is completely barricaded, but you know, people move barricades.
Yeah.
But it's barricaded with a special bridge out sign. The locals fortunately all know that
Yeah.
it's just.
Are you
someone
referring to that or the actual work?
The actual work.
Oh, I'm
So
sorry,
the
I'm sorry.
actual
I
work is
thought
what I'm
about
referring
signage.
to,
Okay.
Dave, is
Okay, I'm
to make sure that I'm not placing my road and bridge employees in danger.
Right.
With
Right.
minimal danger or whatever.
Yes.
I mean,
Absolutely.
we all know there's gonna be some danger, no matter
Yep.
what.
Yep.
And that's why I was hoping Bryce was here
So
today, because I don't
folks-
honestly know if he feels comfortable. I mean, he's certainly got the general expertise, has been around long enough, that he feels like that can be done in-house, or if we're gonna need to get someone else to come do
The
it.
temporary would likely be done in-house, the long-term likely be contracted out.
Okay.
That was just the preliminary discussion
Okay.
between them.
Well, just so we've
And-
covered all the bases, all
Yep,
I'm
yep,
asking.
yep. And the temporary, if he can get a contractor in, he probably would get a contractor, but you know how that is, it takes.
Oh, yeah, I understand.
The permanent fix, everybody understands
Yeah.
it's gonna take time, but the temporary one, it's the very highest priority. So it's a matter if he can get someone in to do that, he will, if not, they'll do it in-house.
Just some of the bigger bridge people, they've got the equipment, they may not even have put their
Absolutely.
manpower
Yep.
And
underneath
that's
of
a
it.
perfect example of why I asked him to go ahead and send it to our carrier, so that they at least had opened the claim, even though they've denied it.
Yeah.
That's a very different issue if we undertake those which we're obligated to do, and we have an employee injured on the job, working on this.
Yeah.
I want them to at least be aware of it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, safety is the highest priority. Okay.
The other thing that we can talk about in open session, with regard, last meeting, we discussed the lake and all of the various contracts. Is it the hope to do a complete review of any and all? Or are there particular leases? I know he has concerns about several of those RVs. He also has concerns about some other property that, I shouldn't laugh, that he's described to me that are out, sitting just parked and have been forever. I don't even know if we can ascertain an owner.
I think, if I remember right, his highest priority was getting the storage items out
Yeah.
that are in there that need to be gone.
The two
They
RVs
just need to be gone.
need to be gone.
Yeah, I'd say that's the first priority. Help me on the second, would be the leases, the lease agreements.
I know that the lease agreements generally, but there are a number of different.
Well,
varieties
that's,
there.
and I think that one's the whole.
I think that probably does need a complete review, because when I've looked at these, I can't even describe them to you. And they are inadequate, and need to be completely.
I don't know if you wanna start with trailers and then.
I think that.
The highest,
that-
work with Isaac on the highest
Yeah,
priorities.
the general storage and those RVs are where I think
Good
we'll
storage,
begin.
yes.
Well, we need to move those next 30 days.
I agree with you. I drove out and looked at some of what we've got there, and I see why he's got some concern.
Taking up rental space, and it looks bad too.
Sound like anybody claims them, get letters sent, come back and everything
Yeah,
else.
but let's get that cleaned up.
Yeah, and the unsightly nature of some of it is significant. So it needs to, we've got stuff that's gotta be moved.
Okay, other commission thoughts on priorities for Brad at the lake? Let's start with the storage items, lease items, and then work our way, work with Isaac on the priorities.
Okay. And I think the others are all going to be executive session, because they're current litigation and property acquisition are two.
Right.
Property acquisition is a short one.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. I move that we recess to executive session in order to discuss property acquisition pursuant to KSA 75-4319B. Item 6, preliminary discussion of acquisition of real estate with the commission, Brad and Tina, for 10 minutes from 1:40 to 1:50. Second by Commissioner Becker. All those in favor say aye.
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 All opposed, nay. Motion carried, 5-0. We will be back at 1:50. It'll be fast.
Any technologies
Just, you might sit still and be comfortable.
This conference will now be recorded.
I'll step inside.
Okay.
So you'll be seeing that.
We are out of executive session, no decisions made, but there were some more questions raised, so we'd like to go back in for another 10 minutes. I move that we recess into executive session in order to discuss real estate acquisition pursuant to KSA 75-4319B. Item 6, preliminary discussion of acquisition of real estate with Commission Brad and Tina for 10 minutes, 1:50 to 2 o'clock. Second by Commissioner Garing. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion carried, 5-0. Be back at 2 o'clock.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, yes.
Okay, you go ahead and do your part first, and then I have some good discussion.
Okay. Out of executive session, no decisions made.
If the commission was to vote on something today or wanted something for a building, would that commission want to have a diagram to fit, to make sure that that building fits that lot?
Kind of chicken or the egg.
Yeah.
I guess in my mind, I would like to make sure there's commission support for a building, and then, once that location is secured, get the commission consensus on the details of the building. Because one thing is, if we move forward with the property and we don't move forward with the building, we return the property. Does that make sense?
We have no expense in the transaction.
Just closing costs.
Is that right?
Yeah, just your closing costs at this point. And I've given him far more than he asked for with his original draft, with that paragraph, in order to have a clawback.
So I guess what I'm saying is maybe we can get the chicken or the egg in place first, and then we can see if the second part comes. If it doesn't, our taxpayers aren't at risk.
I will throw out another alternative, not that you have to, it just creates some additional complexity, but with that type of a proposal, could have done it as an option to purchase as well, which is, I think, what most people expect to see. case we've got an option to purchase it within 12 months for gratis, for $1. If we opt to go ahead for.
June
full-
30th, it says.
I know that, but I'm just talking about if I wrote it, this is actually purchasing, we're gonna go through with the closing. The option would be your ability to tie it up and hold it for a specified period of time. You're gonna get to the same place either way, this is already drawn.
Right.
Okay.
I guess if there was a significant dollar amount at risk, I would immediately go for the purchase option.
I'm just saying,
There could be a significant dollar amount of risk with a quick claim deed.
yeah,
I've seen it happen more than once.
but I'd hate to have a piece of property and, oh, no building fits there to what this, that we can make work for that department.
Well, the preliminary designs for a building that includes the wants fits. If it's cut back to the needs, then there would be more space. Because the preliminary drawing is there, it hasn't been brought in.
I mean, it's, when we did this, I'm just going back to that over there, we had to make it fit the property.
But you had the property.
Yeah, we did have the property, yes, we did. And that was, there was no ifs and buts, it was gonna have to fit that.
Right.
And then the money amount was the second thing that we had to make that building fit the money amount that we could afford.
Right. But you had a property to start.
Yes, and we did have property to start.
Yeah.
That was, we did go that way, I will say that.
Right.
I don't know what we'd done with it if we couldn't make the jail fit that, so.
Yes. So I get it. My opinion on that would be that concern is addressed. It will fit.
Yeah, we've
It's just
got a
whether or not the
rough
commission.
proposal.
Answer the question.
Okay, all right. I would make the following motion to approve the draft agreement between the Marion Advancement Campaign to purchase 1220 East Main for the site of building Public Health Department, purchase price of $1. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Second by Commissioner Crowfoot. Further discussion?
I guess then we have a motion then sometime to build a building off of a plan.
Yes, then the next step would be to have the health department we authorize the architect drawing,
Okay.
to bring that architect drawing in, and then the commission questions, evaluates, makes it
The
larger,
plan.
makes it
Evaluate the
smaller.
plan, yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to eliminate storage, you eliminate storage. If you want to eliminate drive-through, you eliminate drive-through. If you want to reduce the square footage, you reduce the square footage, set a budget amount, and then move forward, if that's the wish of the commission.
Okay. Yeah, that's,
Because this in no way guarantees the building will be built.
okay. That's, I do want a chance to vote no yet if it
Yes.
does not fit the property
Yes.
somewhere.
Again, this is the chicken and the egg.
Okay.
We're getting one.
Okay.
Other discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
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 All opposed, nay.
Nay.
Motion carried 3-2. We want to thank the Marion Advancement Campaign for their generous offering. And hopefully we can come to some agreement to move forward with the public health building. All right, next item, Brad.
Let's see, we need two more. One is for litigation matters for I think 10 minutes will be enough for what we have left.
All right. I move that we recess the executive session in order to discuss litigation pursuant to KSA 75-4319B. Item 2, consultation with our attorney, attorney-client privilege. Commission Brad Tina for 10 minutes, 2:10 to 2:20. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Gehring. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried 5-0. Back at 2:20.
Okay, quick question.
Yes.
I missed the address on that property you guys were discussing.
1220 East Main.
Thank you.
Town.
The former.
Former food bank.
Yes.
Been easier just to say former food bank. Other people call it Smitty's Garage. That was
That's-
Any technology's on?
5 or 10 more.
This conference will now be recorded.
We are out of executive session, no decisions made. There were, again, some questions came up, we'd like another 5 minutes. So I move that we recess an executive session in order to discuss litigation pursuant to KSA 75-4319B. Item 2, consultation with our attorney, attorney-client privilege. Commission Brad Tina, 5 minutes, 2:21. 2:26.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Gehring, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Motion carried, be back in 5 minutes.
226.
2:26.
She took her cup, she might be gone.
This conference will now be recorded.
All right, we got our questions answered. We're out of executive session and.
You still have 20 seconds.
Oh, that's right. A little more 20 seconds. No decisions made.
I wouldn't set it down for this.
You wouldn't what?
I wouldn't set it down.
It is 2:26. We are out of executive session, no decisions made. I believe we're ready for our last executive
Yes,
session. of the
property
night.
acquisition one last time.
Okay.
4 minutes, we'll do it.
I'm gonna make it 5.
Okay.
I move we recess the executive session in order to discuss property acquisition pursuant to KSA 75-4319B, consultation, no, sorry, 6, preliminary discussion acquisition of real estate, Commission Brad Tina, 5 minutes, 2:27 to 2:32.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Gehring, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried 5-0. Be back at 2:32.
This conference will now be recorded.
All right, we are out of executive session, no decisions made. Any other business for the commission?
There's a thing in the mailer, the yellow folder. I didn't know if Randy was wanting to do anything with that.
No, he's got it. The planning commission.
Oh, no. We talked about that earlier before you got here. I got 2 people to talk to and make a
Okay.
decision. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Just making sure it didn't slip.
No.
All right,
He's aware of it.
if not, our next meeting will be payday on Friday the 31st at 9 a.m. We may have an update from the attorney, may not. Otherwise, I don't believe at this point, there's no other business on the agenda for Friday.
Are we ready for commission comments, or are we past that?
Nope. Commission comments, Commissioner Bethel.
Just looking at the Marion Record as of last week, under the school news, I don't know, maybe I've missed something here. It says Superintendent Liker also said he'd been approached by County Health Department about putting a drive-through exit through the district office parking lot if the department builds a new building at the former site of the Marion County Food Bank. Did we authorize that?
I was just visiting with him. I didn't know he was gonna go to board with it.
So did you authorize it?
No, I was doing groundwork, I guess.
I mean,
Visiting with
I
him.
really feel like that's a commission, that should be handled by the commission as an authorization. If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen.
But I didn't know he was going to the board with it. I thought we were just talking.
Well, we need
off the record.
to communicate with whoever these employees are, that needs commission authorization prior.
And it was me, not Krista.
I didn't bring up any names.
I know, but
You said employee.
the paper did.
Okay, other commission comments? Payday on the 31st, regular session on April 1 to 3, the 3rd, and I don't think we'll be meeting ahead of time.
I think you probably will, because that's your land bank Isn't that your
Oh.
land bank meeting
Yeah.
date?
Yeah.
Well, it won't be commission meeting.
Right.
Oh, it's the third?
So does the land bank chairman want to schedule a meeting, or is it automatically
Yeah.
scheduled?
What is he-
It's,
quarterly.
it's the quarterly meeting
Quarterly
at
meeting.
11:30,
Okay,
unless you decide that you don't need it.
April 3rd.
Is there anything to be discussed? But you have to bring a property up or
Except the one property from Green County.
I don't know if we'll have a deed or
Oh,
anything,
okay,
right?
we're not ready for that.
I mean, if we don't have anything to discuss, I'd just forego the quarterly meeting and move it to the next one unless we have to have a special.
Okay.
I think the only thing is Tina's got it under control on getting out the paperwork probably for the demolition and getting that done, as far as that being down there that I know of, Ken. But other than that, I don't know nothing.
Okay, so,
And I guess we will forego that meeting.
okay, very good. So commission meeting at 12:30 on Monday the 3rd. Anything else? Right, I move to adjourn. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Gearing. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Motion carried 5-0.
It's 9 o'clock Friday.
9 o'clock Friday.